डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Hello, welcome to this video session of journalism and mass communication. Today we are going to deal with basic English, the paper of basic English, where we had already discussed unit number 1, and it is about the spoken and written communication, and basic English about the written communication expertise. So today we are again going to start and continue the unit number 1 only, and part 2, which is basically focusing on written communication. Previously we dealt with the unit 1 part 1, which is regarding the spoken communication and written communication and the importance of basic English. But now onwards we have to focus on part 2, where we are going to discuss written communication. You can see over here it is written as semester 1, Masters of Arts, Journalism and Mass Communication, Basic English 1, Unit 1, Part 2, Written Communication. I am in front of you, Dr. Ushma A. Bhatt from the Department of Humanities and Social Sciences. So let us start our work, Part 2 onwards. Look, the basic thing which we are going to focus on this session is about spoken and written English. The basic idea of learning English is very much precise over here, because here there is a differentiation between spoken English and written English. What you speak, that you do not write, and what you write, that you do not speak. So there are differences in language, and these differences deal with the difference of learning of spoken and written English. You is pronounced differently in put and but or cut. I and I meaning different, totally same pronunciation. Here there are two categories you can see in front of this particular slide. That the category A, the table 1 deals with the differences of pronunciation, and the table 2 deals with the differences of written English when it is written in the paragraph form. So let us discuss the things right now. If not native, you are likely to be confused. Similar is the case with often, which is pronounced as often sometimes. Sometimes it is pronounced as often. Non-native speakers, but the original pronunciation is often. So in the original pronunciation, OFTE and often is used as often only. It is pronounced as often. But when the speakers who are not the native English speakers, they are non-native speakers, they are the people who live outside the England, those who are speaking English as a second language. As for example, we Indians, we Bharatiya people, we speak English as English is not our mother tongue, but it is the second language, and here we utilize the word often, sometimes as often, and sometimes those who do not know the original pronunciation, they may utilize often. Grammatical accuracy, proper pronunciation is essential for speaking. Grip over grammar is needed. Look, the very initial important fundamental thing is about grammar accuracy. If you are doing mistakes while speaking English, or if you are doing mistakes while writing in English, it may create a blunder, it may create big mistakes, and because of these big mistakes you need to be very much cautious while writing English or while delivering the speech. Grammar is an important factor. One cannot keep grammar aside and start writing. So grammar is important. Paragraphs, punctuation and a host of other rules are written English, which is different from spoken English. Look, there is a saying, in paragraph writing, that when you are writing paragraph, punctuation marks are very much important, and in written English it is different while it is in spoken English. In spoken English you do not speak the full stop, comma or high exclamatory marks, but when you are writing anything you have to be very much punctual while putting the punctuation marks. The written English rules do not play the big role, but understanding of grammar is essential. So there isn't any specific rule, or there isn't any particular kind of a book which is guiding you throughout in writing skill, but you have to see the language in an overall form, and you have to understand the language as a full fundamental form, where you need to implement writing skill with these particular rules and regulations of grammar, punctuation marks, paragraph writing style. And one needs to be very much cautious regarding the grip over grammar, which is an essential thing in writing skill. Several non-native English speakers learn the spoken language and written language in totally different ways. Look, this is the basic thing which is very much important. It is an important idea which should be understood by you. Several non-native English speakers. There are many English speakers who are not living in England, those who are not the native English speakers like us, like the people of India, or like the people of Malaysia, the people of China, the people of anywhere outside of England. They live in their own countries, but they utilize and speak English language, and they learn the English language. Their spoken language is English, but they are utilizing this English language as a second language. They are utilizing their own mother tongue also, and English becomes the secondary language, and written language in totally different ways. So here there is a saying that when they utilize English as a second language, they utilize it in different ways. The written craft takes the much more intense effort and time. It may happen that the good English speaker need not be a good writer, vice versa. So the rule is that, the idea behind this writing is that when you speak English, it's a different English, and when you write English, it is fundamentally dealing with different kinds of vocabulary as well as different rules of grammar, and not only vocabulary and grammar, but even the punctuation marks, the hyphenated words, the words which are utilized in written English, they play a very predominant role in written English. In fact, the idea behind this writing is that written English is quite different from spoken English. Spoken English needs training. It is true, it needs training. It's a colloquial English, it's a communicative English, it's the English between the two speakers. But the written English must be learned accurately, and there should be proper training taken by the person who is writing, because writing becomes a very authentic thing. You can't say that you haven't written this, because written data is always in front of you, and you have to be very much cautious and punctual while doing writing. Typical errors in Indian English and how to avoid them. Look, when the person who is writing, the journalists or the author or the writer, when she is writing, you must see that whether he is coming from the native areas of speaking English, or whether he is a non-native English writer. Because if he is a non-native English writer, there are certain fundamental mistakes which repeatedly non-native writers do, and that's why here there is a list of things which are mentioned over here in front of you. It talks about the errors, common errors in Indian English. Formative years or age Here it is an idea which shows about the formative years of age. Native speakers indicate those who are the source of comprehension. It means that if the native speaker is writing an English paragraph, he might do some mistakes, and if he is a non-native speaker and he is writing a paragraph, he might do certain typical mistakes which are found in almost all the non-native writers of English. And that's why these typical errors, if you know that these are the errors, you can easily work on those errors and you can eliminate the errors soon. That's why you need to pick up the errors, you need to pluck up the errors and work on it, and that is why the errors will be removed from your writing. That's why here it is written, most Indians are non-native English speakers. It is true that we are the Indians and we have our own regional languages, we have our own mother tongue. As for example, Hindi is our national language, Gujarati is the mother tongue of Gujarati people, Telugu is the mother tongue of Andhra Pradesh people, and Punjabi is the mother tongue of Punjabi people. So naturally it happens that most Indians are non-native English speakers, and despite learning the language, these Indian English people, these people who are speaking English language as a second language, they must work on the typical errors while working with the communication or journalism, communication in the professional field, communication in the field of writing for the newspapers or writing the article for the professional purpose. It must be done very sincerely by these people. Native speakers indicate the English as a source of comprehension. Look, here there is saying that when the native speakers, those who are speaking English as a first language, those who have their mother tongue as English, they may write a source of comprehension, concept of formation, and primary communication beginning with family. They indicate English as a different kind of thing, but we are focusing on non-native English speakers and those mass who are utilizing English as a second language. Look, there are 10 key points of typical mistakes which non-native English speakers do. The biggest mistake occurs due to similar words having same pronunciations but different words and meanings. Look, I tell you one example of the word accept, ACCEPT. Accept means you need to accept something. It means to gain something, to accept, to have something. And the same word, accept this, I will do anything. EXCEPT, accept. Accept in the sense you need to put something aside. Accept this means apart from these things, I will prefer to do this. This EXCEPT, accept, shows the things which you choose. It is the matter of choosing something, selecting something. And ACCEPT, accept, shows that you accept something, you have something, you gain something. So both the words accept and accept, they have similar pronunciation as it is written in this first point, but they have different meanings, they have different spelling as well as different meaning. So one should be very much cautious while he or she is writing for the sake of journalism, when she is writing in English an article for the professional purpose, and he should be very much cautious regarding the typical mistakes which were happening frequently. Here there is an example. Look, there and there. There are many places. THERE, there shows the place, and there he is. THEIR, there. They look there. Things, they have their own bags, they have their own understanding. There in the sense people, they have their own understanding of, they have their own mindsets, they have their own thinking patterns. Here we are talking about the people who are having their own choices, they have their own bags, they have their own things, they have their own understanding, they have their own society, they have their own groups, they have their own dressing sense. These things talk about the people's understanding and people's individuality, people's individual choice. So both these words, there and there, they have similar pronunciation but different meanings. Same is the case with its or its. Its in the sense it is, and another it comma apostrophe s, it shows its means it is, and its in the sense its, which is used generally in the sentence when you want to show something. It's this thing, it is the same thing. So misplaced apostrophes are mostly misunderstood. Sometimes it happens that you put the apostrophe s anywhere, wherever you find that it is the plural, and I can put the apostrophe s. In plural writing of English, in the plural sense, apostrophes are never used. As for example, book and books, there isn't any use of putting apostrophe. Pen and pens, pencils and pencil. So pencil and pencils, when it is in plural, it doesn't take the apostrophe s. One should be very much clear in his or her mind that apostrophe s is not utilized. Putting the apostrophe comma, that exclamatory mark or that particular punctuation mark, it is not necessary in the apostrophe when you are showing the apostrophe in the plural words, in plural and singular. It is not utilized. It is believed that they identify someone's possession, and rules for singular and plural are different. Look, here it is written. Look, the brown dog is the mother of that puppy. That puppy's mother is brown dog, and the same thing is written over here. The brown dog is that puppy's mother. This is Gita's book. This is Ramesh's shirt. Here is the bike. It is Rahul's bike. So Rahul's bike shows that the bike, this particular bike is of Rahul. So apostrophe s is utilized over here for the sake of possession and not for singular and plural. Here this is a very wrong concept students are having, children are having, and we need to work on this wrong concept, and we should be very much cautious and clear while you are writing for the sake of journalism or while you are writing for the purpose of professional article. The short forms are misinterpreted even. Look, here it is written, I am shortened for I am, and I'll is shortened for we will. These days 50s are the new 20s. This is a trend from the 1960s. All these two sentences, they talk about short forms. I am is for I am. Where is from we are. There shows they are. She'll shows she will. He'll shows he will. Can't do shows cannot do. Don't you shows do not you. So all these short forms must be utilized well. But when you are doing written communication, when you are writing something, when you are writing an article, you are writing for the professional purpose, for the purpose of mass communication and journalism, you must avoid short forms. You should be clear in writing using the whole form of writing the particular word. As for example, 50s, 20s, 1960s, these should be avoided, and instead of these numbers, one should go for writing the whole spelling 50s, 20s, 1960s in that way. That is the standard kind of writing one should follow. Difference between your and your. Look, your is a quite different word, and your is generally utilized for you are. So here there are blunders and there are many mistakes which are found in the books, and that's why it is taken over here. Then and then is used for comparison, and then is used for indicating time. I, me, and myself. How to introduce yourself and address yourself in the third person. As for example, you want to say that I am Dr. Ushma A. Bhatt, then you have to say that I am. My name is Ushma Bhatt. My name is Rita Kothari. My name is Meeta Brahmabhat. My name is Ramesh Gupta. So these thing is necessary. Instead of that, people are utilizing myself. Myself is used mostly with I. Myself must be removed. Myself is not in the it should not be used for the purpose of introduction. That you should be very much clear. So try to avoid these mistakes while writing. Invite or invitation. Look, invite is a verb and invitation is a noun. There are differences between let's and let us. Look, let us go home now. That is written with apostrophe s. Let apostrophe s. Let us go home now. And there is a word lets. Let's refers to the permission. Let's do this. Let's start working. So let's and lettuce both are utilized in a different way with different meaning, as well as that one should be very much clear in his or her mind when she is writing. Can shows ability and may shows the permission. So one should be very much cautious while utilizing can and may. Can I go? This is not the way in which you must speak. Can shows ability. Yes, you can go. You must, when you are going for, when you are utilizing the word can for the permission, it is not at all allowed. You must utilize the word may I go, take the permission, and then you can go out. So these are very typical minor common mistakes which happen while writing also, as well as in speaking. But in speaking it is okay, because you are not going to have any authentic document when you are speaking something. Of course one can do the recording, but it is a different thing. But when you are writing for the purpose of mass communication or journalism, or for the purpose of publication, or for the purpose of newspaper writing, for the purpose of professional utilization, you must be very much clear about the mistakes that you can eliminate easily, only being very much vigilant. If you are vigilant enough to find the mistakes, you can remove it very easily. Look, brevity, the importance of crisp sentences. Crisp in the sense short, swift, precise. Kiss in the sense KISS. Keep it short and swift. That's very much important. It's the key of writing effectively. Brevity is the soul of wit. William Shakespeare, the great person of writing, the great person of English literature, you know him, and he says that brevity is the soul of wit. When you want to show that your writing is very witty and intellectual kind of a writing, it's very effective writing, then you must utilize brevity, conciseness. Brevity in the sense exact use of words in writing or speech. The ABC of news is very much important. ABC in the sense accuracy, brevity, and clarity. Brevity means conciseness. Short and swift writing is known as written with brevity. The best way to achieve crisp and concise writing is reread and rewrite. Look, if you want to create a small paragraph which is very effective and which should look very pertinent and very keen one, then you must be very much clear about that writing. You need to read and reread, rewrite it again, write it twice, again thrice read it, then again create and write. Then you will get the best piece of writing after doing it frequently. So that's the only way to achieve writing skill. Every day write a small paragraph in the evening or in the night when you are going for the sleep, or every day when you wake up in the morning, write a small paragraph in English, and your writing will be developed and it evolves. So that is the only technique and only habit you can have to improve your writing even. brevity, it's actually removing all unnecessary sentences. Look, how do you bring brevity? How do you show that your writing is swift, short and simple one? Then only thing is that you need to remove and eliminate unnecessary words, unnecessary repeated words, or unnecessary repeated whole paragraphs even in the big write up of article. The idea is to focus on important details only. Look, the things which are important, that should be taken in the paragraph. What happens if you come across the long descriptive write up? When there is a long descriptive write up, what actually happens? You are not at all interested to listen to the or to read the whole long write up. It happens sometimes frequently when you are watching the television program. Frequently the advertisements are coming in between your program, and you see the advertisement 2-3 times, the same kind of advertisement 5-6 times, and sometimes 7-8 times, and this repetition of the advertisement makes you feel that you are completely feeling boring because of this program, because of this advertisement, and you won't watch the program anymore. Why this happens? Instead of that, if you see the advertisement only 2 times or only once or twice, then it is convenient enough for you to watch the program. So the same thing works over here in writing skill as well. As if you read the sentence and read the similar words frequently, the repetition of the same words frequently in the paragraph, in lines, in the second paragraph, naturally you will lose interest and you won't be reading the whole article anymore. That's why it is written over here. Look, the registration of same advertisements on screen makes you feel boring. Same is the case with data in newspapers. The target audience loses the attention if it's frequently presented. The same data which you have written in the upper paragraph, and the same paragraph is written in the second paragraph also, in the third paragraph also, of course the readers will lose interest. Excessive thrust on brevity challenges you to struggle with every particular news. Look, when you are very much cautious enough to create the paragraph with brevity, it is naturally a challenging thing for you. You need to remove unnecessary data and create it again and present it to the readers. That's why it's challenging one. The good story. Look, the combination of nuggets of information and bits of information. If you want to make an interesting story, your paragraph, the best paragraph, your article, the topmost article, your news is on the big screen, then you need to be very much conscious about putting the chunks. Make the chunks, make it interesting. Good writing is brief writing, and it opens in chunks. It arouses the readers and interest to read the full article. So when you put the chunks, when you put the small nuggets, the bits of lines in the headline, in the dark mode, in the bold words, the bold lines, then the readers will be genuinely interested, and they will certainly read your article. There is a saying by American writer William Strunk in his book The Elements of Style. He sums up with effective writing, and he says, vigorous writing is concise. A sentence should contain no unnecessary words, or a paragraph no unnecessary sentences, just as the drawing should not have unnecessary lines, colors, or the machine should not have unnecessary parts, or a song should not have unnecessary sounds or words. In the same way, the writing should also need to be written with precise, important words and information only, apart from removing every unnecessary details. That is what is the idea over here. The famous quotation by President, look, US President Woodrow Wilson, he was the previous US president, and he says that if I am to speak for 10 minutes, I need a week for preparation. And if I am to speak for 1 hour, I am ready now. So it means that he means to focus on the preparation time. The lesser the speech, the more the preparation time, and the more you speak, you don't need even the preparation, because you are speaking a lot, blah 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 blah. In that case, you do not require the preparation. But when you are going to speak the precise, small, important, short, swift message, naturally you need the hard practice. That is what is told over here. The basic tips for the crisp, concise, brief and perfect writing. Look, what you need to do if you want to go for the perfect writing, the precise writing: stick to the point, watch out for meaningless words, say no to the passive voice, do not use the passive voice, do not utilize too much data also, stick to the point. Watch out for meaningless words. Meaningless words means words which are not at all useful, must be eliminated. Use short, punchy sentences. Reader's attention is the utmost thing. As for example, you are going to speak that she is her umbrella. She is her black umbrella. Try to use it is the umbrella. It's the black umbrella. In that way, utilize the words which are necessary only. Do not focus on unnecessary words. Beware of lengthy substitutes words for said. This is a typical word, must be dropped. Look, sometimes it happens that SAID said, it is written said over here. Said is repeatedly used in a paragraph 2 times, 3 times. She said that, she again said that, afterwards she said that, afterwards her husband said that, afterwards the same idea is spoken by the another neighbor also. Then the word said is used in the paragraph 10 to 15 times. In a small paragraph, the word said is used 8 to 10 times or 10 to 15 times, and naturally the paragraph would be a weaker one because of the similar utilization of the same repeated word. The repeated word creates the paragraph weak, and it doesn't show the smart or strong impact. And if you want to bring the smart, strong impact, you need to be very much very familiar with different kinds of words. Sometimes you use the word said, then you utilize the word talked, then you utilize the word he announced, then you utilize the word declared or spoke or informed, said, explained, exaggerated, expressed. These are the words which could be utilized while writing for the purpose of professionalism. Writing in full unfamiliar abbreviations. Abbreviations are shortened words to replace something long, a designation or a proper noun. But be very much clear over here. You are not utilizing frequent abbreviations. Utilize the abbreviations which are very familiar, very popular, and which are in genuine use in a day-to-day English as well. As for example, Government of India. Everybody knows it's GOI. Everybody knows it's Ministry of Defense, MOD. Everybody knows it's Ministry of Education, MOE. So certain kinds of familiar abbreviations could be utilized, but when you are utilizing unfamiliar abbreviation, you need to write in full even. Means you need to give the full form of the abbreviation as well. That's what is said over here. Okay, thank you and God bless you. Good luck to you. We are going to meet again for this topic of mass communication, journalism, basic English, language and its utility. Swadhyaya